so here we have a really exciting unboxing from SpeedCubeShop.com, and this is a whole bunch of new cosmic cubes. And so you guys know that I am a huge fan of them, and so once I saw these go on the site, of course I had to get some to try out. And so here's a letter, and it basically just tells you kind of what to expect with your cosmic cube and like how to take care of that stuff. And so I also have like the receipts and all that, but let's just go ahead and get into the puzzles. And so they also included a whole bunch of these stands, which I'm not really sure why, but that's awesome. Alright, so here are the actual cubes that I got. This one is a magnetic Chuwen 2x2, a magnetic Weipo, the cosmic XMen Volt, a WuShuang M, and the WuQue M. And so I'm honestly super excited for all these. I'm not really sure where to start off, but I guess I'll just go for the XMen Volt since I've never tried this one out before. So I'm not really too sure what to expect from this cube. I've kind of heard mixed opinions on the XMen Volt, but I guess I'll just go ahead and see for myself. And so let's get into the first turns. Wow, the slice is very, very smooth. The layers are really gummy and sluggish, of course, but I think that's pretty much what you can expect from a pre-set up cube. Yeah, I can tell there's a lot of lube in there. I'll definitely have to break that in. Immediately though, quite a few more lockups than I would get from the original QiYi one. Yeah, and it's not really that tight either. But aesthetically though, you can definitely see that the flooring cut holes aren't as large as the original QiYi one, so that could definitely have some part in the lockups that I'm getting right now. Because I think I do have pretty sloppy turning. Getting past those lockups though, I really do like that it's much more stable than the original QiYi one, because sometimes I would actually also alternatively lock up because it's so flexible. But at the same time, because it's so rigid in the turning, it definitely can give a blockier feeling, and it could also give lockups in a completely different way than a more flexible cube would. Corner cutting isn't as great as the original QiYi one. Yeah, this definitely takes a lot more force and it doesn't cut nearly as much. So I think out of the box right now, I really can't say whether or not I like this more or less than the QiYi one. But I'll definitely have to get a little bit more familiar with it, just do some more averages and see exactly how the performance is during actual solves. And so I guess I'll just have to see exactly how this cube turns out. Alright, so now for the Chuwen M. And so I think I requested this one to have N35s, and you can see they also put my custom color scheme on there with half brights and a floral blue, which I am really, really starting to love. But yeah, let's just get into the performance. Yeah, really nice. It's super smooth, but it's also really fast. And the magnets are surprisingly enough not really overwhelmingly strong. I was initially concerned that it would be way too strong because I think they do use 4x2 N35s, and because you do need to use double the magnets for even layered puzzles, that would be just insanely strong. But I think they position the magnets really intelligently because it's really not as strong as I thought it would be, and it's not obstructing the turning at all, which I find is a really big problem for magnetic 2x2s. Yeah, you can see the stability is definitely there, but when I'm turning it really fast, you really don't notice the magnets at all. And so SpeedCubeShop definitely found a logical position for the magnets. It's super stable, but it's not hard to turn. And the service that they did to this cube is really, really amazing. The Chuwen is already a pretty crispy and crunchy cube, but the way they lubed it made it really, really smooth. It seems a little bit tight. It's not corner cutting nearly as easily as I would like it to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to loosen this up just a little bit. And unexpectedly, this one isn't gummy or sluggish at all. It's super fast, but because of the magnets, you have that controllability factor, and so it is ready to go for competition. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna go about this a little bit randomly. This one is the WuShuang M5x5. Alright, so again, my half brights with fluoro blue custom shades. And I think I also requested this one to have M35s. And so let's just go ahead and get right into the performance. Wow. Just immediately I can tell, definitely not as sluggish or gummy as I was expecting for this to be. Wow, this is just really, really nice. I'm really liking this cube. I can tell it's a little bit tight. I'm getting a few lockups. Yeah, I normally have my cubes, or 5x5s at least, just a little bit looser than this. I do like just a little hint of flexibility. But regardless, I can tell super good cube. It still feels really fresh out of the box, you know, still needs some breaking in. And so one thing I was initially worried about was, presumably SpeedCubeShop was using the same size magnets and the same strength, and so because of that, if I were to turn this outer layer, that the inner layer would kind of move along with it, but you can see that that is not the case at all. The layers move really independently from one another, and I just really like that. And that's definitely a factor that you want to look for in any bigger layered cube. Yeah, a little bit of locking, but I'll have to loosen it a bit and just get used to the turning and all that. Yeah, corner cutting is definitely really good. I think the WuShuang was the 5x5 that supposedly had like 45-degree corner cutting. Oh wow, it kind of does that, geez. So the way I set up my own WuShuang, it didn't corner cut this well, but so wow, definitely a really amazing cube out of the box. I still of course need to break it in just to get all of that lube in there worked in, but out of the box, I would definitely say that this cube is well worth the price. If you're not willing to spend that extra time figuring out how to magnetize a large layered puzzle, then definitely go for the cosmic version. I promise you, you will not be disappointed at all. Alright, so back to 2x2s. This one is the Cosmic Weipo M. And so again, my custom shades, and with this one I requested N50s because I have heard that the plastic is a little bit thicker, and so we'll just go ahead and see how this turns. Very smooth, like all Weipos of course. Yeah, the magnets aren't that strong again. Even though it is an even layered puzzle and there should be like double the magnets in here, it's really not that strong. What I do. But yeah, the turning itself is very smooth, and even though you can't really feel the magnets distinctly bump into place, the stability is still there. You can see it's stopping exactly where I want it to. Wow. Yeah, this one is also a little bit too tight for my taste. I'm gonna have to loosen this just a little bit, but the performance itself is really nice out of the box. This one is definitely a little bit more sluggish and gummier than the Chuwen M and the WuShuang at least. But I am really liking this. Definitely a lot of main potential. And so this one has kind of a different kind of magnetic feel. Instead of it kind of subtly clicking into place, kind of like the Volk 3 or this WuShuang M, this one has a kind of mushier, kind of smoother feeling to it. Like it kind of just glides into the magnetic placement. And so I definitely really like that feeling just because it feels a little bit more controlled. But I'll definitely have to break this in and just get all that lubed work in there. But again, definitely a really amazing cube. Alright, so into the last puzzle, the Cosmic WuQue M. And so I'm probably the most excited for this one just because my own WuQue that I've set up myself is just terrible. The outer layers are just really slow and scratchy, but I'm sure this one will be a lot better, so we'll just go ahead and get into the turns. Yep, definitely much better. The cosmic surface really does this cube justice. The outer layers especially, they're just a lot smoother than mine, and they're just faster, even though this one is pretty freshly lubed. The inner layers are always really nice on the WuQue, so that wasn't too big of a concern for me. And so I did get 4x2 N35 magnets in this one. And so same thing with the 5x5 actually. I was afraid that because they were using supposedly the same exact size magnets and same grade magnets on both the inner layers and outer layers, that when I went to turn the outer layers, that the inner layer would kind of go along with it. But that's not really a huge problem. That's not really occurring right now. But I'll definitely have to break in the lube and just see how everything works out. But yeah, definitely a super nice cube. It is a little bit slow from all the lube that is still in here. But first impressions, I really do like the feeling of this cube actually. I'm not sure if it's because of the way that SpeedCubeShop set it up with the cosmic service, or if it's because of the plastic. Because I have heard actually that QiYi stickerless cubes are much smoother than their black and white counterparts. So I guess I'll have to break this cube in and, you know, just see how it gets. But right now I really do like it. And so initially I wasn't too big of a fan of the WuQue, but this definitely gives me some hope for the cube itself. So the actual magnetic feeling of this cube is really enjoyable. Even though they have to double up the magnets in here in the inner layers, and they did use 4x2 magnets, it feels really nice regardless of that. Like, it's not overwhelmingly strong, and it just has the perfect amount of click to it. You can see it locks right back into place, but I can assure you it's not hard to turn at all. It feels very nice. And the outer layers, it's not exactly clicking into place, but it's kind of gliding into position, if that's understandable. It's just like a much smoother magnetic attraction. So first impressions, I'm definitely super impressed with this cube. I don't really have a 4x4 main that's amazing or that I'm really comfortable with, and this one is definitely going to be in the running. Alright, and so I think the recurring theme in this unboxing is that all of these are really amazing cubes. They obviously are a little bit sluggish because of all the fresh lube that is in there, but I'm going to be using these cubes within the next few days and just kind of seeing how they break in. And what I think I'm actually going to do is kind of do an update video within about a week, just to give you guys an idea on how you should be expecting your Cosmic Cube to turn out, and just kind of updating you guys and just seeing how they end up. But bottom line, these definitely are really great cubes, just based on my first impressions out of the box. And so if you don't really trust yourself with the process of setting up a cube or magnetizing a cube, then definitely go over to SpeedCubeShop.com and check out their Cosmic line. They definitely do have a really professional and knowledgeable team over there, and so I definitely recommend that you guys check it out. So that pretty much wraps it up for this unboxing. If you guys have any lingering questions on a specific cube, then feel free to let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys did enjoy this unboxing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.